All right, I'm recording. Okay, today I'm talking about my dog Bear. Look how handsome he is. You'll see him here. He's an English chocolate lab. Oh, look at him there. I'm talking about how I reversed a cataract that he was diagnosed with. That was actually against anything the ophthalmologist that we were working with had ever seen, and I did this holistically or naturally. So let's see. Here we go. Some more pictures of the lad. Just love any opportunity I can to show off how goofy and weird he is. I mean, like, look at that face right there in the middle. He's an alien. He's a trip. And there's him with a shirt on. He's wearing the shirt with the chocolate lab on it. And as you can see, the way he was posing, not like he was posing, but the way I captured his face there is pretty funny. Anyway, okay. So, horrible photos. This was the day. So he actually had a vaccine reaction, horrible vaccine reaction, as you can see here, when he was on his, I think, second round. The vet that we were going to at the time decided to give him 3 vaccines in one day. He got his Bordetella, Leptospira, and then the Parvo vaccine. So he got those all 3 in one shot. We took him home. And about 45 minutes in, my husband was like, does he look weird to you? And he started to blow up like a balloon, as you can see here. I mean, his whole body was inflamed. He had a systemic reaction to these vaccines, or the vaccine that day. He had hives everywhere. So the vet treated him with corticosteroids and Benadryl, and it got the swelling down. But shortly after that, I would say a couple weeks or so, I remember this picture. This picture was him. I mean, he's not doing well in this picture. That was after he got all the Benadryl, so he was probably like drowsy, and he just was not feeling good because his system just went into like anaphylactic shock. I never officially got that diagnosis. I don't know that his whole system was shutting down, but he was blowing up rapidly with all those hives, and he was swelling. So from what I understand of anaphylactic shock, I think that's what he was going through, but the vet never said that. That's just my own assumption. But look how cute he looks. Like, he almost looks kind of like a Shar-Pei. And so I exploited him. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I decided to snap a picture when he looked crummy because I thought he looked so cute here. But anyway, so a couple weeks after that, we started to notice that when he would look up at us with his eyes, one eye would have like almost like a green reflection in it, and it looked like there was something wrong, and we couldn't figure it out. I wasn't sure if it was, I don't know, just the light, the way it was reflecting or whatever. We didn't know, and so we took him to the vet again, and he was looking at it, and he's like, I see something there, but he didn't have the equipment to be able to tell exactly what it was. So he's like, I recommend that you go to an ophthalmologist. So we went to an ophthalmologist, and she looked in his eye. I think that's the next picture here. Yes, this was in January 2017. So this was a couple months after the vaccine reaction. And why I mentioned the vaccine reaction is I have a hunch. We haven't been able to prove this. It's hard to prove something like this, but I have a hunch that the vaccine reaction led to the development of his cataract, because we got him from a farm in a couple hours away in California, and the line we got him from a breeder. I'm hesitant to say that because there's a group of people out there that will not like that I said that, but we got him from a reputable breeder that we trust for a variety of reasons. But we got him from a breeder, and the 30 years of the bloodline that he was from had never had one cataract. And so the vet wanted to say, no, this was a genetic thing, but the breeder was like, this absolutely makes no sense because not one dog in this bloodline has ever had a cataract. So I think it had to do with the vaccines, but I'm not sure. Can't prove it. It's just my own thought. So we took him to the ophthalmologist. She looked at his eye, and she was like, okay, in this eye, the one that we thought was weird, that there was something going on, he has a cataract. And as you can see it here, it's this white, foggy kind of U-shaped thing in the photo. She pointed that out. So that was the cataract it was forming. So she told us he still had about 95% of the vision in his eye. So he was only about 5% impaired. However, we could try this medication that she wanted to put him on. And he would most likely need surgery within 3 to 4 months, because she said she sees these things rapidly progressing pretty much across the board for all dogs, and most of them will need surgery within a couple of months. And then even after that surgery, he has an 80% chance of developing either glaucoma or retinal detachment, which is basically like with any sort of vigorous exercise or intense exercise, his retina could detach. And then that would cause a whole host of problems, probably emergency surgery, blindness. Glaucoma can lead to blindness, and it usually does. And so, I mean, this was just devastating for us to hear. He was about 6 months or so old at this time. And, you have your puppy and he's perfect. And you don't think anything's going to really go wrong like this that early. And so this was troubling for me, to say the least. And she wanted to put him on this medication. She sent us home. She's like, let's try this medication, have him come back. I think it was like in 2 or 3 months, and we'll see what happens. And so we went home, and there was something, because I had gone through my own healing crisis and sort of switched a lot of the remedies that I was previously using towards more natural, holistic, nature-based things instead of pharmaceuticals. If you watch my urinary tract video, you'll be able to see a bit of information on that. But I just did not like the idea of the medication, because I researched the medication that she put him on. And a side effect of that medication was a cataract. So I'm like, okay, we're treating a cataract with medication that can cause a cataract. It just did not make a lot of sense to me. And so I went home, was totally like this dude here, went home, went crazy, did research. First I allowed myself to be upset, kind of played a bit of the victim, why me, why my dog, why him, he's perfect, I let myself carry it out, cried, all that stuff. Then I got down to business, started to research, and I found all these different things online, different stories of people doing this themselves, treating humans and dogs with these variety of drops. And I did a bunch of research. I found, well, I think I can probably go into it. Actually, no, this is, so long story short, I found a remedy, tried these drops. I decided to say no medication, did not do the medication for him against the ophthalmologist's wishes. And I found this 5-drop remedy. So I could sit here and dive back into why I picked the different drops that I did and why I ordered them in the way I did. I don't really want to. I actually don't even really remember my full thought process, but I just spent hours and hours of research on this. And there was a method to my madness when I was developing my method. I just can't really recall it now, because this was like maybe 3 years ago or so. But this had been shown to work for many other people. So I trusted it, and it's natural. So a lot of these things are herbs or whatnot with very little side effects, especially with the way that I was using them. And so I didn't really feel like there was a lot of risk to doing this. I just felt like, maybe this would work for him. And so I developed a 5-drop remedy, and then also some immune support with it. And so if you recall, this was the cataract back in January 2017. And see that white there, that white U. And I did the remedy for 4 months. I didn't give him any medication, brought him back to the ophthalmologist, and I kind of was a bit sneaky about it, and I didn't tell her what I did. She just wanted to look at his eye. And I remember that moment, I was so nervous. My heart was like racing, because I'm like, okay, this could fail. This could be horrible, because I could have just taken 4 months of time out from doing his medication. It could have gotten way worse. My method could not have worked. And I just screwed up. And I was thinking about that, but I was willing to take the risk, because for some reason this made more sense to me. The drops made way more sense to me than the medication that would potentially make the cataract worse. And so she looked in his eye, and she was spending a lot of time on his eye. And, I asked, how does everything look? How does everything okay? Or is everything okay? And she's like, I'm a little confused because it looks better. It looks like it reversed. And that was just, in that moment, first of all, it was just a huge sigh of relief for me. It was like, okay, I did something, right? And she was shocked. And I have the picture here. This was April 2017. So as you can see, the white here is pretty much gone. And I was shocked too, because I'm like, holy crap, what I did worked, like did something, like I said. And she was shocked, and she had me share the protocol with her, so she could study it and she could learn about it, because she said in her 10 years of working with people or working with pets, she had never seen this happen before, even spontaneously. She's like, just out of nowhere, she had never seen this happen. And I also told her I didn't do the medication. And so this was, ever since we've had his vet, he has the tools to look at his eyes. We take him now to a holistic vet. We don't go to the other vet anymore. The other vet just doesn't really align with the way that I choose to fuel and nourish and treat my dog. So we go to a holistic vet now, and he checks his eyes every year, and he says they look great. He can't even see the cataract anymore. So unless it went away by itself, which I don't think it did, what I did worked, which is awesome. And there's no reason that this could not apply to a human being as well. I don't see a reason for it, except for maybe I think the last one is Ocluvet, and that's tailored for animals. But you can just take out whatever parts of this that you want to take out. So the remedy. So it's, like I said, 5 products, 1 to 2 drops of each product in the eye, 3 times a day. You wait 20 minutes in between the products to ensure full absorption. And I remember I put a big fat LOL there, because that's pretty unrealistic to daily life. Because you're doing 5. So if you think about it, you do one to 2 drops of one product, wait 20 minutes, 1 to 2 drops of another one 5 times, do that 3 times a day. That's 15 drops with 20 minutes in between drops. You pretty much will have a full-time job doing drops in your dog's or, in a person's eye. And so that's just pretty unrealistic. So what I would do is I would just sometimes do like 5 minutes in between. Sometimes I'd only do 2 rounds, even 1 round, whatever I could. I tried to shoot for 3 rounds, but do what you can. It'll work. And then the optional or bonus support, I had this is all stuff, like I said, I don't really have the why behind this, but I had him on some antioxidant treats, some herbal supplements for cataracts, plant enzymes and probiotics, some omega-3s, and I switched him to a raw diet. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, because you can research the drops yourself, and I'm finding myself a little bit tired right now. So let's see. The first one is the cold pressed 100% flax oil. So this needs to stay refrigerated. So I'm going to link all this in the description. So you can do this and leave this in the refrigerator. This is the first one. Buy this on Amazon. Second one is MSM powder, which is supposed to be good for joints and cartilage, and a normal saline solution, which is, I believe, 0.9% NaCl, which is sodium chloride or salt. This one was kind of hard to find. I kind of panicked and I found it. I was going around to all the stores, and I ended up finding it at CVS. I panicked because I wanted to just do the remedy. I was like, I just want to start this ASAP. I found it at CVS, and it was in like a wound cleaning thing or whatever. It was like a wound cleaning product, and it said normal saline solution, and that's all it was. It was 0.9% NaCl, sodium chloride. So I did that. I bought it, and it was like kind of weird because I had to squirt it out and mix it and all that. But it's an MSM powder with a normal saline solution. That's the second drop, or the second product. Number 3 is Can C. This was actually specifically formulated, I believe it's in Europe, but maybe in the UK, for cataracts. And you can read the reviews on this stuff. It has some great feedback across the board with just humans and people and reversing cataracts and whatnot. And the 4th one is Cineraria maritima. I think that's how you say it. It's a homeopathic method. You can buy those drops. And then the last one was Ocluvet, and this was for eye support, antioxidants, and nutrients for ocular health and clarity. Basically just read that right off the bottle there. So I did these 5 drops. So the cold pressed flaxseed oil, the MSM powder with normal saline, the Can-C, the Cineraria maritima, and the Ocluvet. And I did that, like I said, I shot for 3 times a day, 1 to 2 drops in each eye in that order of all the 5 drops, 1 to 2 drops in each eye, and then 3 times a day. So about 15 to 30 drops. Do you need something? Okay.
Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be embarrassed of yourself. Look at you. You're recording yourself. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
You are. You're so fake. You don't know who you are. What are you doing?
That's my husband. He's testing me right now. Anyway, thank you. Where was I? Oh, okay. So that was the drop remedy. And then this is the optional / bonus support. So this is, you could pick any part of this that you would want to do. But I had him on these antioxidant supplements. I'm going to link everything in the description. I just gave him, I think, 1 or 2 a day. And then I had him on this called Cataractin. This is supposed to be for cataracts. This is to be consumed orally. So it's supposed to be working in the body systemically, not in the eye. So this was more like a cataract support for the body. So to help the body like naturally regain the immune support to heal the eye. And then I had him on these plant enzymes and probiotics just to support the gut and digestion, because I had a thought at that time that he wasn't digesting his food properly, or he wasn't digesting optimally. I had him on some omega-3s. Those are good for a lot of things. And then I switched him over to a raw diet, which I still have him on now, and he's been thriving. I finally figured out the right amounts for him, because some dogs can be sensitive to organs, etc. And he was one of those dogs. And so I finally found the right amount, but the raw diet has been great for him. So I did all of these things. So I did the drops, I did all of the secondary support. And again, you can look into the different parts yourself and see what you want to do. If you want to try any, all, some, pick which ones. But for me, I thought I had to include everything that I did, because I can't really tell which parts worked right, because I kind of just, it's like an avalanche of all these different things. I just attacked his body with all of this support, and it worked. It's amazing that it worked. And now he's still, like I said, every year we take him back to his vet for his checkup, and he cannot see any remnants of the cataract. So I would call that a success. I'm very happy with that, and I wanted to share it. I've been wanting to make this video for a couple years now. I wrote a blog on it, but I've just been wanting to share it outwardly and to see if it works for anybody. Like I always ask for that feedback, and I'm really curious, because like I always say, like a crazy health lady, that I'm just doing all of these experiments on myself and trying to fix things and cure things naturally and holistically without medication. And it works for me, or it works for my dog, or it works for my husband, or my friend, or a couple of my friends, or, you know, a small group of people. But I don't know if that's just kind of one-off things, anecdotal, or shit, maybe this helps everybody with the cataract, and that would be really cool. So let me stop sharing. Awesome. That was okay. Good. For some reason in the middle of that, I thought I hadn't pressed record. I'm like, that's going to be annoying if I have to record that all over again, but I did. It is recording. I think that's everything I wanted to cover on that. That's it. All right, cool. Thanks for listening. Whoa, how do I stop recording? There we go.